Be me, mid-20s, living my best life in a college town that never quite let go of me after graduation. Working a decent marketing job, good friend group, active social life. I had it figured out, or at least I thought I did. I remember this one night at Parker's, the bar everyone went to on Fridays. I was there with my roommate Sophie, and we'd barely ordered drinks before this guy came over. Decent looking, nice smile, bought us around. I wasn't really interested, but I appreciated the gesture. Gave him 10 minutes of conversation before politely excusing myself. 20 minutes later, another guy. Then another at the bar while I was waiting for our next round. Sophie joked that I had some kind of magnetic field. I just shrugged. It's about confidence, I told her, and being approachable. Most people give off closed-off energy. My phone was always buzzing. Instagram DMs, Snapchat messages, texts from 3 different guys I was casually seeing. I never understood people who complained about dating being hard. Like, just put yourself out there. Be interesting? It wasn't rocket science. Joel was one of those complainers. We'd been friends since sophomore year, met in some bullshit general ed class. Good guy, kinda nerdy but in an endearing way. He was always talking about how brutal dating was for him, how he'd been on apps for months with nothing to show for it. We were at a group dinner one night, 8 of us crammed into a booth at some overpriced Mexican place. The topic of dating came up, and Joel made a joke about being perpetually single. Our friend Matt jumped in with, "Bro, same. Dating apps are a wasteland." I couldn't help myself. You guys just need better game. Honestly, the problem is probably you, not the apps. Joel looked at me across the table. You really believe that? Yeah, I do. Dating is hard for everyone, but it's not impossible. You just have to put in effort. I put in effort, he said evenly. 6 months on Hinge, Maya. Maybe 10 matches total. I message first. I plan dates. I'm respectful and genuine, and I still get nothing. Then maybe you're doing something wrong. Have you tried being more confident? Going up to girls in person? I do. His voice cracked with frustration. Last week I approached this girl at a coffee shop. We were both reading the same author. She gave me one-word answers and put in headphones. Maybe you're coming off desperate, I said. Women can sense that. I'm not desperate, I'm just... He ran his hand through his hair. It's different for you, okay? You get approached. You have options. I have to do all the work and still get nowhere. That annoyed me. Joel, women have it just as hard. We deal with creeps. We have to filter through dozens of shitty messages. You have dozens of messages, he said quietly. I'd kill for dozens of messages, even shitty ones. At least that's something. That's such an entitled way to think about it. I put my drink down harder than I meant to. Maybe you're just swiping on girls out of your league. Have you considered lowering your standards? His face did something. Hurt, maybe, or just exhausted. My standards are fine, Maya. I'm not asking for models. I'm asking for anyone to give me a chance. Then maybe work on yourself. Hit the gym more. Get better photos. Women don't owe you attention just because you exist. I never said they did. He was getting that look guys get when they know the conversation is over. Forget it. You don't get it. One of the girls at the table chimed in. Dating apps are brutal for women too, though. We get harassed constantly. I'd rather be harassed than invisible, Matt muttered. The table went quiet. I jumped in. That's kind of a messed up thing to say, Matt. You don't know what it's like to deal with creeps? And you don't know what it's like to be completely ignored, Joel said, looking directly at me. I laughed dismissively. Come on, Joel. You're being dramatic. Just be yourself and be confident. That's literally all it takes. Joel didn't respond. He just went back to his food. Looking back, I can see his face so clearly now. The resignation. The exhaustion. The look of someone who's tried explaining something 100 times and knows it won't land. But at the time, I just thought he was being whiny. The conversation moved on. I excused myself to the bathroom, and on the way back, I caught my reflection in a mirror by the bar. Stopped for a second, studying my face. Sometimes I felt off, like the person in the mirror wasn't quite right. I'd been feeling that way more lately, but I pushed it down. When I got back to the table, one of the girls was showing her hinge. 347 likes waiting. God, it's so overwhelming. How am I supposed to go through all these? I pulled out my phone to show mine similar numbers. Just pick the hottest ones and ignore the rest. That's what I do. Joel's jaw tightened, but he didn't say anything. Later that night, I went home and scrolled through my apps while watching Netflix. Got a few new matches. One guy sent a genuinely funny opener, something about my bio mentioning hiking. We texted for a week, went on a date, hooked up a few times. It was easy. It was always easy. Well, mostly easy. Sometimes during sex, I felt disconnected, like I was watching from outside my body, like something fundamental was wrong. I never brought it up with anyone. What would I even say? That night, I posted a selfie from the restaurant. Nothing special, just me with decent lighting. Within an hour, 23 DMs. Some were stupid, hey beautiful, some were creative. Most were just guys shooting their shot. I showed Sophie later. See? It's all about presentation. Good photos, good energy. She nodded, scrolling through her own flooded inbox. Yeah. But sometimes I wonder if guys even read our profiles. They just see the photo and swipe. That's not our problem, I said. If they're shallow, they're not worth our time anyway. The irony didn't hit me then. I fell asleep that night, thinking about the dinner conversation. Not with guilt, with irritation. Why did guys always make dating sound so impossible? Maybe they just weren't trying hard enough. I told myself, just be confident, just be genuine. It works for me, so clearly it's not that hard. But then that other feeling crept in again, the one I'd been having more and more, the sense that something about my life, my body, my whole existence felt wrong, like I was playing a role that didn't fit. I pushed it away and went to sleep. I had no idea how much was about to change. 18 months later, everything was different. I wasn't Maya anymore. I was Mark. The transition had been freeing, mostly. Terrifying at first, then affirming, then just normal. My close friends were supportive. Work was fine. Some awkwardness, but nothing unbearable. I felt like myself for the first time in my life. Dating, though. Dating was another story. I set up new profiles on all the apps. Took the process seriously. Had my friend take photos of me at a park, at a coffee shop, one of me hiking. Wrote a thoughtful bio. Mentioned my interests. Photography, indie music, travel. Added a joke at the end to seem approachable. I swiped for a week. 2 matches. One unmatched immediately. Probably an accident swipe. The other never responded to my message. I rewrote my bio. Took new photos. Swiped more. Another week. 1 match. Dead conversation after 3 messages. I tried going out. Hit up the same bars I used to go to. The ones where guys used to approach me constantly. Walked in with confidence. Same energy I always had, just in a different body. Nothing. I stood by the bar, ordered a drink, made eye contact with a few women. Smiled. Got nothing back. Not even polite acknowledgement. I watched a woman across the room get approached by 3 different guys in 30 minutes. I stood there for 2 hours. Nobody even looked at me. I told myself it was just an off night. Tried again the next weekend. Same thing. The weekend after that. Still nothing. That's when I decided to take a trip. Barcelona, somewhere I'd always wanted to go. I figured maybe a fresh city, vacation energy would be different. Barcelona was beautiful. The architecture, the beaches, the energy. I felt good, tanned, relaxed, confident. Went to a beach club one afternoon, the kind of place where everyone's attractive and loose and open to meeting people. I saw a group of women at the bar, tourists, speaking English with Australian accents. I walked up with what I thought was a solid opener. First time in Barcelona? They turned, smiled politely. Yeah, you? Same. How are you liking it? It's great. One word answers. They turned back to each other. I stood there for a second, then walked away. Tried again an hour later with a woman near the DJ booth. She was dancing alone, seemed approachable. Having a good time? She barely looked at me. I have a boyfriend. I backed off immediately. 20 minutes later, I saw her making out with some guy. Either way, she wasn't interested, and the boyfriend line was the easiest way to get rid of me. I sat alone at a beachfront bar, watching couples everywhere, holding hands, laughing, taking photos together. I used to be half of those couples. Now I was just there, invisible. A woman sat next to me at the bar. My heart jumped. Maybe she chose that seat because of me. I started a conversation. She was friendly, answered my questions, laughed at my jokes. 5 minutes in, I thought maybe I'd finally made a connection. Then her boyfriend showed up. She wasn't interested. She was just being polite. On my last night, I went to a rooftop club. One last attempt. The place was packed, people dancing, drinking, the city lights sprawling below. I saw a woman who'd been glancing in my direction a few times, built up the courage, walked over, got halfway through introducing myself when she cut me off. Sorry, I'm just waiting for someone. She walked away before I could respond. I stood on that rooftop, surrounded by people coupling up, grinding on the dance floor, shouting over the music to flirt. I was completely invisible. The plane ride home was brutal. I scrolled through Instagram, saw my friends' stories from their nights out. Sophie posted a selfie from a bar. Already had 15 comments from guys. I opened my dating apps. Still 2 matches total. Both conversations long dead. I thought about Joel, about that conversation at the party. It's different for you. You have options. I closed my eyes and tried to sleep. Told myself I was probably just doing something wrong. I became obsessed with fixing whatever I was doing wrong. Rewrote my bio 5 times. Tried funny. Tried sincere. Tried mysterious. Took new photos. Casual ones, dressed up ones, action shots. Asked my friend Claire for advice. Just be yourself, she said, scrolling through my profile. Confidence is everything. You're a catch, Mark. The right person will see that. The same advice Maya used to give. I sent 50 messages over the next month, thoughtful ones, tailored to their profiles. Got 3 responses. All 3 conversations died within 5 messages. Went to a bookstore, saw a woman browsing the same section as me. Photography books. Perfect opening. I walked over, mentioned a book I loved from that section. She smiled politely, said, "Cool," and put in headphones. Attended a singles mixer event. Watched women cluster together in groups, deflecting guys who approached. I tried twice. Both times got the "just here with friends" line. I was at Claire's apartment one evening, helping her set up her new TV. She was on her phone, swiping through Hinge. Ugh, this is so overwhelming. Look at this. 347 likes. How do I even choose? I glanced at her screen. Hundreds of faces, most with thoughtful messages attached. I pulled out my phone, opened my Hinge. 4 likes in 3 months. One was clearly a bot. 2 had blank profiles. The 4th never responded when I matched. Claire didn't notice. Dating apps are the worst, right? So superficial. Our other friend Asha was there too. Seriously, everyone just swipes based on looks, I tried to explain. But you have options. I have nothing. Claire looked up. Maybe you're being too picky? You should lower your standards a bit. I stared at her. Those words. Exact words Maya had said to Joel. I'm not being picky, I said quietly. I swipe on everyone I'm even remotely interested in. Still nothing. Asha shrugged. Maybe try meeting people in person? I do. Same result. They went back to talking about their own dating frustrations. Too many options, guys who only wanted hookups, bad first dates. Real problems, sure, but problems I'd kill to have. That night, I went home and posted in a men's forum online. Wrote about my experience, the complete 180 from my life before. Got replies within an hour. Dozens of men sharing similar stories. Years on apps with minimal matches. Approaching women in person only to be shut down immediately. The crushing invisibility of it all. But also got replies from women. You're probably just not trying hard enough. Maybe work on yourself first. This sounds like an attitude problem. I closed my laptop. Lay in bed, staring at my phone. Opened my dating apps again. A compulsion at this point. 0 new matches, 0 new messages. I thought about all the guys who used to message Maya. The effort they put into those messages, knowing most would never get a response. The hundreds of swipes it must have taken to get a single match with her. I thought about Joel's face when Maya dismissed him, the exhaustion in his voice. Was he right? Is it really this bad for all guys? I closed the apps, opened them again 5 minutes later. Still nothing. The silence was deafening. I remembered my phone, always buzzing, always wanted. Now my phone only lit up with app notifications trying to get me to buy premium features. The contrast was crushing. Weeks turned into months like that. The same routine. Wake up, check apps, nothing new, go to work, come home, check again. I was becoming a ghost in my own life. Then one day, I got a text from an old friend, party invite. I stared at it for a long time, debating whether I had the energy to be around people. I almost didn't go to the party. It was for a mutual friend's birthday. Outdoor patio bar, casual, vibes. I'd been isolating for months, and I knew I needed to be social. So I went. The place was packed, couples everywhere, people mingling, flirting, laughing. I stood alone with a beer, trying to look approachable. That's when I saw Joel. He was across the patio with a woman, brunette, pretty, laughing at something he said. He looked good, relaxed, happy. I almost left, but he saw me. He walked over, the woman following. Mark, hey. Hey. My throat felt tight. This is Emma. He gestured to the woman. She smiled warmly, shook my hand. I'll grab us drinks, she said, excusing herself. Joel and I stood there. The weight of everything unsaid hung between us. So, he said, how's life? Good. Adjusting? Dating? I hesitated. It's been tough, actually. He nodded slowly. Yeah, it is. Silence. You were right, I said, barely audible. Back then? About all of it. He didn't gloat, just looked at me with something like pity. I tried to tell you. I know, I didn't get it. I thought you were exaggerating or just not trying hard enough. And now? Now I can't get a match. Can't get a conversation. Can't even get a woman to look at me. And everyone keeps telling me to just be confident, like that fixes anything. Joel took a sip of his drink. Yeah, that's what you told me too. It hit like a punch. I'm sorry. I'm not looking for an apology. I just hope you understand now why some of us gave up for a while. It's not entitlement, it's exhaustion. Emma came back with drinks. Joel put his arm around her, and I saw it. The ease between them. Something I hadn't felt in years. Good luck out there, man, Joel said before walking away. You're gonna need it. I stayed another hour, watched couples dance, touch, laugh. I used to be one of them. I left early, walked home alone. The streets were quieter now, just the occasional couple passing by. I thought about Joel and Emma, how natural they looked together, how he'd found what he was looking for after all those years. And here I was, walking the same path he used to walk, alone, invisible, finally understanding every word he'd said. I pulled out my phone, opened my dating apps, 0 new matches, the same profiles I'd seen 100 times. How did he do it? How did Joel keep going after years of this? I thought about his face at that dinner, the resignation in his voice, the way he just accepted that I'd never understand. And now I did. Now I was him. The bitter irony wasn't lost on me. I'd become the thing I used to mock. I closed the apps, didn't open them again that night. I needed to talk to someone. Met Claire and Asha at our usual coffee spot. Told them everything. The loneliness, the invisibility, the realization that everything Joel said was true. Claire's face hardened. So you're saying women have it easier? In dating? Yeah, Asha cut in. That's such a harmful narrative, Mark. Women deal with harassment, assault. I'm not saying women don't have problems. I'm saying dating as a man is brutal in a way I never understood. You sound like every bitter incel online, Claire said. This is really disappointing. I tried to explain. The numbers, the effort, the invisibility. Asha. Maybe you're just not as attractive as you think you are. Claire. Yeah, maybe work on yourself instead of blaming women. The same lines, word for word. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just telling you what I experienced. Claire stood up. Well, it sounds like you're invalidating our struggles. I can't be friends with someone who thinks like that. She left. Asha followed. I sat there alone, half-finished latte, going cold. Watched them through the window as they walked away, already on their phones. The barista came by. You done with that? I nodded. She took the cup, and I just sat there for another 20 minutes, watching people come and go. Couples meeting up, friends laughing, everyone connected to someone. Over the next few weeks, the silence got louder. Claire and Asha didn't respond to my texts. Other friends from that circle slowly stopped reaching out. Probably heard Claire's version of events. I wasn't angry, just tired. I started spending more time alone, stopped checking the group chat, stopped posting on social media. What was the point? One night, I almost texted Joel. Wanted to ask him how he'd gotten through it, how he'd kept going when everything felt hopeless. But I couldn't. What right did I have after how I'd treated him? Back home one evening, I sat on my couch, staring at the ceiling. Thought about posting somewhere online again. Maybe someone would understand. But I remembered the responses last time. I pulled up my dating apps. Still nothing new. Closed them. Opened them again 10 minutes later. Just a compulsion now. I thought about Joel's words. Again. It's not entitlement. It's exhaustion. I understood now, completely. The effort required just to be seen. The constant rejection, the way everyone told you it was your fault, your photos, your bio, your personality. Never the system, never the reality that some people start with every advantage and others start invisible. But then another thought crept in. Do men really go through this? All of them? Or am I just unlucky? I'd lived both sides now. I knew what I'd experienced. But the doubt lingered. Maybe I was an outlier. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe if I just tried harder. I caught myself. That was the same logic I'd used to dismiss Joel. Just try harder. Just be more confident. I didn't know what to believe anymore. My phone lit up, a notification from Hinge. My heart jumped. I opened it. Someone liked your profile. I clicked through. Blank profile. No photos. Probably a bot. I closed the app and set my phone face down. The apartment was quiet. No plans for the weekend. No messages to respond to. No one waiting for me. I thought about Maya's life. The constant attention, the ease of it all. Then I thought about Mark's life. The silence, the invisibility, the grinding effort that led nowhere. Do men really go through this? I still didn't have an answer. Maybe I never would. All I knew was that I was tired and alone. And for the first time in my life, I understood why some people just gave up.